Something magnetic draws you near to me. Our worlds collided like a symphony. This is how true love's supposed to be.
A vivacious boss with plenty style. Come on girl, it's showtime now.
You already win a trade before you even put on the trade.
I made an investment in myself and I took a one-on-one mentorship with Zeussys and with Jamie. After doing the mentorship, I was able to achieve 23 wins in a row in the stock market trading futures. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how I achieved that, but I'm also going to share with you tips for just being successful and things that I have learned from this mentorship that I really truly believe have changed my life. So with no further ado, let's get into this video. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. I am so excited. I've been wanting to record this video for a minute for you. I actually have already recorded it, but I'm like, that one ain't good enough. We got to do it again. So let's go ahead and get into it so I can share with you how I was able to make this happen from the things I have learned from Jamie and from Zeussys. So just to give you guys a little bit of background, last year in 2024, I saw Zeussys in an interview that he had done on YouTube. In the interview, he shared his background, his past, and how he was able to achieve really amazing things in the stock market as a result of learning from ICT. I've been an ICT trader for a few years and I have studied almost everything that Michael, aka ICT, offers. It is a lot, and at times it can be very overwhelming, and it also can be kind of hard to figure out where you really want to focus to be successful and profitable in the stock market. I've been profitable for a while, but I feel like I haven't been hitting the goals that I want to achieve in my life. And watching Zeussys and watching Jamie, I have really seen that they demonstrate the skill set that I wanted to be able to get to in the market. So I decided to go ahead and join the one-on-one in January, and it was a really big decision because it is a sizable investment. But I'm somebody who I'm not scared to invest in myself. I have my MBA, I have my project management certification, which is called the PMP, and I have taken a number of courses in trading as well as other things in my life. I just feel like if you want to learn something, you got to make the investment. So I do believe in investing in myself. So I wasn't scared to spend the money, and I've seen their executions in the market, meaning their entries and their exits, and they truly have impressed me. Started the mentorship, it's 12 weeks. It has been absolutely amazing. They have not only taught me how to create a protocol for myself, but they have also just shared things that I feel like make them unique and make them successful in the market that I am really truly working on and trying to get there for myself. One of the things I feel like I have learned that helped me to achieve these 23 wins in the market is first the protocol. They made sure that I have a protocol that is very simple and to the point, but at the same time, by following the same single rules to qualify my trades every single time I get ready to get in the market and push that button, it has helped me to stay out of trades that would have been bad trades, and it has also helped me to get into the really, really good trades. So by that, there have been weeks where I literally looked at every single morning and PM execution or trade that was offered, and nothing fit the protocol. So I didn't have a trade, and that's okay. I stayed out and I had to be okay with that. So having that protocol has not only helped me be successful in terms of the wins, but it also has helped me to make sure that I'm limiting my losses. And I do think that that played a very, very important role in achieving the success that I've been able to achieve. The second thing that I think is really important is not only just having that protocol, but being disciplined to it, okay? It's not just enough to have the rules, but you have to stick with it. You have to be able to control your urges. You have to be able to not have FOMO and hear other people getting in your ear about things that should be traded, or the fact that you're missing out, or the market is so good today and you need to be pushing the button and getting in. Like, they make it very clear and very plain. And it's funny, there'll be times where we talk about trades that happen in the market that were amazing in terms of the move, but when I talk to Jamie and I talk to Zeussys about it, it's very clear that that trade wasn't for us, okay? Not every trade, not every time the market is moving doesn't mean it's for you. So that, in my humble opinion, is the most important thing you can do, is have a very clear process and a very clear protocol for your trading setup. ICT, aka Michael, would always say you want to have a protocol that is so simple you could put it on a business card, and I'm finally there. The second thing I think that they do that really makes them different and sets them apart is they are disciplined, okay? I was telling Jamie in one of our recent one-on-ones, you know those bracelets that they would have where they would say, what would Jesus do? I told Jamie, anytime I get ready to take a trade, I always go, what would Jamie do? Because Jamie is not going to push the button and get into a trade that does not follow the protocol. So I always ask myself, would Jamie have taken the trade that I just took? And if I can answer that question with a yes, I feel very good about that trade. I also think that it's really important to control your emotions when it comes to the market and try to find a neutral space when it comes to trading. This is something that Zeussy talks to me about all the time. He's always saying how you want to be very neutral, and he's even used the verbiage of like dead inside when you're trading because you don't want to be moved emotionally by the market. And I've noticed since doing the one-on-one sessions and even talking to some of my friends who I love dearly, there are times where my friends are very, very emotional about what is happening on the charts. They're like, oh my gosh, we're consolidating, the market isn't doing anything. Or they're like, did you see this? This is crazy. The market did blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And there's a lot of emotion when it comes to the charts. And I noticed that when people come and send me messages while the market is moving, it actually invokes an emotion out of me. Like it makes me feel like a sense of urgency. And I don't want to feel that way. I actually really want to be very neutral. I want it to be very objective where I'm literally looking for my rules to be met. I've got steps that I need to look for, boxes that I check. And I don't want to feel a sense of like fear of missing out or a sense of urgency about a trade. I want it to be just very neutral, very calm. You know what I'm saying? Like when you gotta really get to that place, because when I'm on the side of like the emotions being present, it's easier to have an emotional response when I see the chart moving and be trying to anticipate pushing the button as opposed to seeing the boxes be checked and looking for that high probability entry. And that in itself, and just that mental change that I have noticed within myself since starting this mentorship has been just a game changer. And I really think that that has been a huge part of the success and a huge part of why I have seen this transition in my trading and in my hit rate. I also would say it's been amazing to figure out exactly what I need to focus on as a result of this mentorship. Going through everything that I've learned from ICT, I feel like I could see a lot and I had a lot of things that I understood with regards to the market. I do feel very comfortable in my ability to read the chart and understand what is happening. But at the same time, it's not enough to just feel like you can see what's happening and what's going on. You need to be able to anticipate the next move so you can make money off of it. And that has also been a really huge game changer. I think the one other thing I noticed from the very beginning is that they are very, very, very cautious with regards to creating a bias. While we do want to have a narrative and understand what the narrative is, Jamie and Frank, AKA Zeussy, I keep saying Frank because that's how I see him now from talking to him in the one-on-ones, but Jamie and Zeussy are very, very just good about being objective. They are not quick to say, I think something's gonna happen, because at the end of the day, the market doesn't really care what we think. The market's gonna do what the market's gonna do, and what validates is what validates. So they are very clear about waiting for validation, and when you have validation, then we look for the setup on a smaller time frame. So it's high time frame idea, high time frame narrative, small time frame entry, small time frame setup using the steps in the protocol. So that's a game changer. You gotta make sure you have your process, your protocol, you've gotta control those emotions, and you have to be objective. I think those things really, really are a game changer when it comes to getting to the point where you can find your highest hit rate possible with the setup that you have. I also think another key lesson learned is that just because there's a lot of different things that we can observe that can add confluence to our setup, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be looking at all of those things. It's important to identify the things that make your setup high probability so that you can incorporate those things to essentially have your boxes that you check, and also just making sure that you stick with it and you are consistent. Something else that I have learned from them is how important it is to annotate your trades. So for those of you who aren't familiar with that verbiage, basically what it means is when the trade is over, you want to take notes on exactly what happened so that you can look back and refer back to it to learn from each of those various trades. And I tell you, I used to annotate my trades, but never with this much intention. As a result of that, I've been able to basically, one, sell myself on the fact that I really should always stick to my protocol. Secondly, it is very apparent as to the reasons why there are certain times we absolutely do not want to push the button. And I think that just kind of leads me into the next step. So we got the annotate your trades. You want to annotate because you're going to learn from what you see. But then the next piece is it's not enough to just know when to trade, but you also need to know when to not trade and when to not push the button. Because there are going to be times where it's a low probability to even trade, even push the button. Your setup is not going to get there or get to where it needs to get to in the way that makes it more efficient. And when you're trading futures, we don't have a lot of room to mess around. We want these entries to be precise. We don't want the market to kick our butt to get to the target that we're gonna get out. So you gotta make sure you're trading in the right environment, and environment selection is so important. Oh my gosh. So just emphasizing not trading when it's not the best times has also, I feel like, set me up for success. I think regardless of if you decide you wanna do something like this when it comes to trading, that's beyond the point. I really want to emphasize how important it is to invest in yourself and invest in the goals that you really want to achieve. Because at the end of the day, those goals are not going to be hit on their own. You got to do the work. You have to do the work. And if you want to have that shortcut, find the people who have already achieved the things that you want to achieve so that you can hook yourself to their cart and go right with them. It's so amazing how you can cut down so much time by learning from people who have already achieved the things that you want to achieve. So in my humble opinion, I definitely think it's worth making the investment in the right people. Not everybody's gonna be the right place to put your money, because I've learned that lesson the hard way. But putting your money in the right people who can help you achieve the goals and the success that you want is definitely where to go. I don't get any benefits from telling you guys about Zeussy and about Jamie. I am here telling you about them because I know what has worked for me. And I also have other friends who have taken their public mentorships and have been very successful as a result of what they have learned from that. So I come to you with a lot of caution because I know picking someone to mentor you is very important, and you want to take it very seriously, because I'm telling y'all, I've learned that lesson the hard way. However, I feel like I can really demonstrate that as a result of what I've learned, I've been able to be very successful after this mentorship. But I have to say, you got to put in the work. It's not going to do the work for you. You have to do the work for yourself. Okay. You got to study. You really show up to prove that you are ready. I also had a lot of work that I did in advance of this mentorship. So it wasn't like I just got in the mentorship and it was just like, boom, you know what I mean? I had to have a lot of that back history, back learnings and information that I have just jammed in this head of mine, and combining that with what I've learned from them has really helped me be successful. So I say all that to say, for those of you who have been with me on this journey and also who had saw when I was trying to decide if I wanted to do this or not, it is working out. It is going very well. I am very pleased. I feel very optimistic about the future. I am super excited because even seeing times where I get my executions close to the entries and exits that Jamie or Zeussy would have had, I am just so excited, and it makes me feel like I'm getting there. So my current motto right now that I've been saying to myself is 1% better every single day. I make sure I study every day. Even still, I feel like I'm getting close to the point where I'm not going to need to do that anymore, but I do still study on a daily basis. I do still have a few one-on-ones left. I think I've got like 3 left if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just loving the experience, and I also really appreciate the group. They do have a one-on-one group where you're able to talk and communicate with other people who are in this process as well. And that makes a really big difference. Having good people around you that have the same mental perspective, who are in the same place, who are just as passionate about achieving their goals, like that makes a really big difference, because you don't want to feel like you're all alone in this. It's a very lonely journey, especially when you start going down some of these rabbit holes that I've been down with regards to the market. So I think the last thing I want to leave you guys with is take ownership and really grab the reins when it comes to the goals that you have for yourself. If it means signing up for a mentorship or finding a mentor, then that's what you gotta do. You gotta do it. Sometimes you have to make that investment in yourself. And I know times are hard. It's crazy right now in this world. There's a lot going on. Inflation is absolutely freaking crazy. For me, I felt like that exactly was the reason why I needed to do this now. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys get back to it. I really hope you have enjoyed this video and got something out of it. Definitely, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. I'm really good about answering my questions. And I think that's it. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video all the way to the end. And with that, I will see you in my next upload. So have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.